Good morning. It's a daily quiz, episode 52 on substance abuse. I'm your host, John Newquist, and it's November 27th, 2025. This is in the CSP and the ASP test. Forklift operator nearly strikes a pedestrian after swerving erratically. During your investigation, you learn the operator was observed with slurred speech, inconsistent reactions, and the smell of alcohol in their breath. Supervisor allowed him to continue working because he seemed fine earlier. What is the company most liable for this situation? A, failing to provide refresher forklift training. B, not conducting a post-incident drug alcohol test immediately. Allowing a person, a known or suspected impaired employee to operate equipment. And D, not documenting a pre-shift inspection. Well, we know A and D are not. So it's B or C, and the answer is C. You're allowing a person who smells of alcohol. Now, it's a tough question because supervisor can say, I didn't smell anything, it looked fine, he was doing it, everything was right. That could happen. You should consider any kind of issues related to a near miss like this to be a part of your drug testing program, and maybe send them to the clinic and see if there's any alcohol. Could be medical. A lot of time, I have more medical interaction issues than probably any of the drugs, but it's up there. During the morning toolbox, an employee appears extremely drowsy, has pinpoint pupils, slow or shallow breathing, repeatedly nods off despite attempts to stay awake. Co-workers notice he's confused and unable to follow simple directions. Which condition does this mostly strongly indicate and require immediate response? A, heat exhaustion from working outdoors the previous day. B, hypoglycemia from skipping breakfast. C, fentanyl or opioid-related impairment requiring emergency and medical assistance. D, stress-related fatigue that could be corrected with rest breaks. Okay, this is a tougher question. People maybe get one question twice. We've had people get three, but I would say one is probably a common one. The answer is it could be a fentanyl opioid impairment requiring emergency medical assistance. If that person passes out, you may need to use Narcan, and that will help bring them back. But you have to have training in first aid and CPR is what I always tell people for almost all your workplaces. So let's have the people, be able to identify some of these situations, and because, we have these cases every year. I mean, drug overdoses at work are over 200 a year in the United States alone. At work. More than electrocutions now. Think about that. Road construction crews have been working 12-hour night shifts for 9 consecutive days. A worker falls asleep while using a plate compactor and nearly injures a co-worker. Investigation reveals management ignored multiple fatigue complaints and denied requests for scheduled rotation. What is the employer most risked for? Violating OSHA's hearing conservation program. D, increased worker compensation claims due to the cost of predictable fatigue-related incidents. C, failure to provide adequate PPE for night shift operations. D, violating EPA regulations related to nighttime noise pollution. Well, sometimes the longest answer is the right answer. Increase worker comp because people are getting tired. As I said, if you make a person work a lot of hours and they get like less than 4 hours of sleep for 2 weeks, they'll make and do things you'll never expect it happen. That's one of the things I tell people. You can go one night with 3 or 4 hours of sleep, but you do this for 2 weeks, you're going to say and do things that you never thought you would do. And that's what fatigue is. Eventually, we're going to have wearables, and like my phone, I can tell you exactly how much hours of sleep I got. And you could track that, issue of privacy or not. But do you want to have somebody sit there and be out there that's extremely exhausting and possibly run over the co-worker and kill them? Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.